Hey there, pre-algebra students. Welcome to your homework lesson for tonight. In class, you were given a copy of this packet, so I would like you to put this in front of you because we are going to fill it out together. When we come back, the next time I see you, we are going to be practicing this, and there may or may not be a little open note quiz to make sure you've completed the packet. So make sure you come to class prepared. Now, with that being said, let's start with section 4.7. We are continuing in our fractions chapter, but now we're moving on to mixed numbers. All right, this is exciting. We're going to be working with the same skills we learned previously, but now including mixed numbers. Before we get into the operations, let's just understand kind of what our mixed numbers represent. So we're going to place them on a number line so we can visualize them. Now, when we're given a list of numbers, especially with fractions, read your list carefully. It's very easy for these to get kind of like messy because they're all clumped together. Now, when I put my numbers on my number line, I want to pay attention to, is it a whole number or a mixed number or just a regular fraction? And is it positive or negative? All right. So starting with the first number, -5, that's a negative. So it's on the left side of the 0, and it would be right here on the number line, -5. Next up, we have -4 and 1/2. So again, we're negative, but now we're a mixed number. So this is really -4 plus 1/2. So we're going to go to -4. And then we're going to go 1/2 further down the line. So 1/2 means we're going to split this whole, one whole between -4 and -5 into two pieces. And our point is going to go there at -4 and 1/2. All right. Let's do the next one. Now we have 2 and 3/4. Notice it's positive. So we're going to be on the right side of the number line now. And this is 2 plus 3/4. So that means we need to go to 2 and then go 3/4 more. Now to make sure we're at exactly 3/4, we're going to split the whole number between 2 and 3 into 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, because it's 2 and 3/4, we're going to count 1, 2, 3. And our number is going to go right there at 2 and 3/4. Now, the next fraction is 1/8. Notice it is not a mixed number. So if there's no mixed number, if it's not a mixed number, there's no whole number. So that means it falls between 0 and 1. So 1/8, we've got to break this up into 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a little tight. And 1/8 means we're going to go to the first of those 8 pieces. 1 out of 8. All right. Now our last number on the list is -1/2. That means the negative is what we want to notice. And it's not a mixed number. So that means it's going to be between 0 and -1. All right. Now, -1/2 means we need to split this whole that's from 0 to -1 into 2 pieces. Put our point on the line. This is -1/2. All right, so there's our number line. Let's move on to doing some operations. We're going to start with multiplying and dividing our mixed numbers. Now, it's not too different than when we multiply and divide regular fractions. However, there's one more step. To multiply or divide with mixed numbers, first, we are going to write any mixed numbers as an improper fraction. So we're going to turn it back to an improper fraction before we do any operations. So we're going to turn it into an improper fraction and then multiply or divide as usual. So simplifying and then multiplying straight across. However, the final answer should be written in the same form it starts in. So if our numbers are given to us as mixed numbers, that means our answer should be written as a mixed number. Okay, that's important to remember so that you don't get points off. Now let's start with number 2. First, I see 3 1/3 times 7/8. 7/8 is a regular proper fraction, but 3 1/3 is a mixed number. So we're going to turn that into an improper fraction. We're going to do 3 times 3, that's 9, plus 1 is 10, and the denominator stays the same. Then we're going to multiply it times 7/8. We didn't have to change that because it was already a proper fraction. Now, before we multiply, we're going to make our lives easier and simplify first. 10 and 8 are both even. They have a common factor of 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now we can multiply straight across. So 5 times 7 is 35. 3 times 4 is 12. So now we have our fraction, 35 over 12, but we need to write our answer as a mixed number. So we're going to divide 35 divided by 12. 12 goes into 35 2 times, and our difference or remainder is 11. So 2 remainder 11. Now that means my final answer is going to be written with 2 as my whole number, 11 as my numerator, 12 as my denominator. Okay? So at this time, I want you to pause the video and try number 3 on your own. When you are done, go ahead and press play so we can check it together. All right, so you should have just done this on your own. Hopefully you pressed pause and then press play. Now let's see if we would get the same answer based off of the way that we were told to solve it. So first I see 2 mixed numbers, so this is going to turn into an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5 over 3. And then we also have another mixed number, so we're going to turn that into an improper fraction. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Now we try and simplify. 3 and 9 have a common factor. They can both be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now that we've simplified, we multiply straight across. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 4 is 4. 15 divided by 4. Remainder 3. 3 remainder 3. So that's 3 and 3. Our denominator was 4. 3 and 3/4. So that would be our final answer. Now let's step it up a little bit and divide our mixed numbers. Now remember, for division, it's keep, change, flip. All right, but then after that, you just multiply straight across. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17 over 3. Divided by 9 times 2 is 18 plus 5. That's 23 over 9. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 5, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now, we can't just divide. Remember, we have to keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep 17 over 3. We're going to change division to multiplication. And we're going to flip 9 over 23. Now we simplify. 3 and 9 simplify to 1 and 3. And then we're going to multiply straight across because 17 and 23 do not have any common factors. Those are actually both prime numbers. So 17 times 3 is going to be 51. And 1 times 23 is 23. So we have an improper fraction. Now we simplify by making it a mixed number. So 51 divided by 23. 23 goes into 51 2 times. That's 46. 51 minus 46, that's 5. So 2 remainder 5. That means our final answer is 2 and 5 over our original denominator. Before we turned it to a mixed number was 23. So our denominator stays 23. So 2 and 5/23. For number 5, go ahead, pause the video again like you did last time, solve it, and then press play to check it with me. So we have another division problem. So again, we're going to keep change flip, but first we're going to turn into improper fractions. Now, 11 over 18 is already proper, so we can just leave that. Then 2 and 5/6. So 6 times 2 is 12 plus 5. 12 plus 5 is 17 over 6. Now it's division, so we're going to keep change flip. 11 over 18 times 6 over 17. Now, before we multiply it straight across, we're going to simplify. 11 and 17 are both prime, but 18 and 6 are not. They can both be divided by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now we've keep changed flipped. We've simplified. Now we multiply straight across. So 11 times 1 is 11, and 3 times 17 is 51. So 11 over 51 is our final answer because those are both prime numbers and cannot be simplified. Okay? Moving on, let's flip to the next page. And now let's add or subtract our mixed numbers. So to add or subtract mixed numbers, our steps are the same as before, except first, we're going to turn each mixed number into an improper fraction. Then add or subtract. But remember, we need common denominators to do that. So don't forget that important step. Very important. Common denominators. All right. The final answer, because if we're adding and subtracting mixed numbers, we should be writing our final answer as a mixed number. So the final answer is to be written as a mixed number. All right. Now, number 6. Let's do it together. First things first, I'm going to turn everything into improper fractions. So 3 times 5 is 15 plus 4 is 19 over 5 plus 15 times 1 is 15 plus 4 is 19. So 19 over 5 plus 19 over 15. Be careful. I promise you this is where some students will make a mistake because 5 and 15 look similar, except for this little one. So remember, we have to turn it into common denominators. So we're going to multiply by 3. All right, so 19 times 3 is 57 over 15 plus 19 over 15. Now we have common denominators, so we're just going to add 57 plus 19, and we get 76 over 15. Now, it's improper, so final step, we're going to divide 76 divided by 15. 15 goes into 76. Let me estimate. 15 times 2 is 30. 15 times 4 is 60. 15 times 5 is 75. So that's 5 remainder 1. So our answer is 5 and 1 over 15. That's my final answer. Now let's just make sure it makes sense. So look back at your original numbers. We had 3 and a little more, plus 1 and a little more. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and then we add together those fractions, and 5 and 1/5, that's pretty close to where we would be. So that makes sense, it's reasonable. So I feel confident with my answer. All right, go ahead and do the next one on your own. Press pause, then press play when you're ready to check it. So for number 7, we have 9 times 5 is 45, plus 1 is 46 over 9. 14 times 11 is 154, plus 10 is 164 over 11. Whew. So this one's not going to be pretty, guys, but we can do it. 9 and 11 are not common denominators. Their least common multiple is 99. So we're going to multiply this side by 11 and this side by 9. So 46 times 11 is 506. 9 times 11 is 99. 164 times 9, 1476. 11 times 9 is 99. Now we can add it together. So 1476 plus 506, we get 1982 over 99. Now we need to divide that. Now remember, in this chapter, or in this section, not this whole chapter, but in this section, you can use calculators. We talked about that in class. So on your calculator, you could divide this, but be careful. The decimal is not your numerator. All right, so you can divide it on the calculator to get your whole number, but then you still have to find the remainder, not the decimal, to get your answer. So 1982 divided by 99, that's going to be, let me write it out. 1982 divided by 99. Well, when I put it into my calculator, I get 20.02. So I know 20 is going to be my whole number, but I'm not going to look at the decimals. I'm just going to use those to recognize, all right, there's a mixed number because I need a fraction to represent the decimal. So I'm going to finish dividing. Now from here, I'm going to do 20 times 99. I get 1980. And my remainder is 2. Remainder 2. So my final answer, 20 is my whole number, 2 is my remainder, and 99 is my denominator. Now let's make sure it makes sense. 5 plus 14 is 19, and then the fractions bump it up a little bit, so 20 seems reasonable. Now let's do some subtraction, same steps. First, we turn it into an improper fraction. So 8 times 7, remember you can use your calculators, is 56 plus 3 is 59 over 7 minus 5 times 21 is 105 plus 2 is 107 over 21. Now 7 and 21 are not the same, but they are 21 is a multiple of 7. So I can multiply 7 times 3 to make it equal 21, so I'll do the same to 59. So 59 times 3 was 177, and 7 times 3 is 21, minus 107 over 21. So now we have common denominators. Now we can simplify or subtract. So 177 minus 107 is 70 over 21. Now let's turn it into a mixed number. So we'll do 70 divided by 21. That's 3.33333. Now, that means my numerator is 3, but 21 times 3 is only 63. When we subtract, we get a remainder of 7. So 3 remainder 7, that turns into 3 and 7 over 21. Now 7 and 21 are multiples, so we can simplify this to 3 and 1/7. Okay, go ahead and try the next one on your own, then press play when you're ready to check it together. So first things first, make it improper. 7 times 14 is 98, plus 3 is 101 over 14 minus 7 times 3 is 21, plus 6 is 27 over 7. Okay, but not common denominators. So I can turn the 7 into a 14 because 14 is a multiple of 7. So I'll do times 2. That gives me 101 over 14 minus 27 times 2 is 54 over 14. Now that I have common denominators, I can subtract 101 minus 54. That's 47 over 14. Now, 47 divided by 14, 3.3, so I know that's going to be 3 wholes. 14 times 3 is 42. That gives me a remainder of 5. So my mixed number is 3 and 5 over 14. We don't have any common factors, so that's my final answer. Now, you have 2 challenge problems that I will be checking to make sure you have completed your assignment when we come back to class. So those 2 homework assignments are 10 and 11. Try those on your own, then bring them to class so we can check it together. Let's move on now to the next part of our lesson. We're going to use our mixed numbers to solve problems. So let's start with number 12. The measurement around the trunk of a tree just below shoulder height is called its girth. The largest known American beech tree has a girth of 23 1/4 foot, or 23 1/4 feet. The largest known sugar maple tree has a girth of 19 5/12. How much larger is the girth of the American beech tree than the sugar maple tree? So we're subtracting. So 23 1/4 minus 19 5/12. So first things first, let's make them improper. So 23 times 4 is 92 plus 1 is 93 over 4 minus 12 times 19 is 228 plus 5 is 233 over 12. Now we need common denominators, so we're going to multiply our first fraction by 3. So 93 times 3 is 279. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we can keep this fraction the same because it already has a denominator of 12. So 279 minus 233 is 46 over 12. So we need to turn that into a mixed number. So let's do 46 divided by 12. That gives me 3.8. So I'm going to use 3 as my whole number. 3 times 12 is 36. That gives me a remainder of 10. So 3 and 10/12. However, 10 over 12, they're both even. So we can divide them by 2, and we get 3 and 5/6. All right. So number 13, that's your homework tonight. And we're going to do one more example, and then the rest will be homework. All right. So perform the indicated operation. Write each answer as a mixed number in simplest form. Now, though, we have some negatives involved. So nothing different in terms of our steps for solving. We just want to remember our rules for negative. If it's 2 negatives or 2 positives, our answer is positive. But if either one of them is different, meaning if the signs don't match, your answer will be negative. So here we have a negative sign times a positive number. So our answer should be negative. From there, we are just going to follow the same steps we've been doing in this lesson. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22 over 5, times 11 times 1 is 11, plus 3 is 14 over 11. Now we can simplify. 2 times 14 is 28 over 5. Now that's improper, so we are going to divide. 5 goes into 28 5 times. Remainder 3. So our answer is 5 and 3/5. All right. So now the rest of these will be checked in class the next time I see you. So please finish these. And if you've completed this whole packet, then you will get full credit for your homework. All right, guys, if you have questions, go back and rewatch the video or come see me in the Math Center. And I will see you guys at our next meeting. Have a good day.